It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. He's Rob Heinrich, the acting superintendent for the Indiana Area School District, joining us this morning, and our conversation is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. I was talking to another superintendent of an Indiana County district last week, and I said, "No, you guys, you're on the beach in the summertime. July, you're doing nothing. There's nothing going on in a school district." That's not exactly true, and I think I knew that ahead of time, didn't I?
For sure. Summer's actually one of the busiest times for the administrative team.
That's what he said.
You know, we have so many things to do. We're closing up last year, getting all the reports into PDE, going through setting goals for next year. We still have our summer camp that's closing down this next week that's going on in our schools. Plus, you know, we have a lot of trainings to get in. The summertime is a great time where we get our principals some additional training. So we've been very, very busy, actually. So
yeah,
wish we were sitting on a beach. But
you're still breaking into the job yourself, too.
Yes, sir. I still have a lot to learn. I learn new things every day. It's an adventure, to be sure, but I have a great team. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing how much you can learn so quickly from other people that are in the thing. And Mike's still a great friend, so he's a phone call away. So we stay in touch quite a bit. Justin Zahorchak is a very experienced educator, great teammate. Jared Cronauer has been doing this for a long time, so I have a great support system. Yeah,
well, you've just been through budget season with the school board, and Jared, of course, a big part of all of that.
Sure.
Pleased with how the budget process worked out?
Well, no. I mean, you're never pleased with the budget. I mean, I think that superintendents always deal with poverty, no matter what the situation is. And in Indiana, we're going through a tough time right now as far as, tax revenue is down quite a bit. Our assessed tax value is down almost $1.5 million. Our expenses are up. We've added almost another $1 million in cyber school costs. So we have, decreased revenue and increased expenses, and that's and puts the board and the administration in a tough situation. Sometimes we got to make tough decisions. So, the board had to, make the decision to raise taxes for the first time in 8 years, and it was a tough one for them. So, we took some steps in the right direction, but, you're never 100% happy with the way things turn out financially, right? Yeah.
There are a number of building issues within Indiana Area School District, and you're dealing with a ton of them. And of course, the Ike is where people focus, but that's just one of a number of different areas of concern with buildings. But where does it stand right now?
We're moving forward. We just had an important mediation yesterday with the insurance settlement for the Ike project. To get the insurance money from our carrier to help offset some of the costs. So we're moving forward there, and we have important decisions coming up here. We got the bid to get the asbestos abatement done to prep for the construction. So we should be breaking ground here, in September.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is there is an opportunity there, and you have to look at it that way when you are basically forced by circumstances to address a building's issues, and there are major issues with that building. Then you can choose to look at it as, okay, it's an obligation, we just have to get it ready to go. Or you can say, well, here's an opportunity to turn it into something really special.
Well, that's just it. We're trying to make lemonade out of the lemons that we were dealt with that fire. And all of our buildings could use an upgrade, maybe the exception of the junior high. Fate just forced our hand to focus on Ike first. So we are in a situation where we have to do the best thing we can for that building. And like you said, capitalize on this, turn this problem into an opportunity, and make Ike a much more versatile building that can house more students, house more staff, and really be a modern learning center for the digital age. So we're going to, the board's going to do the best they can to put the finances in the right place to make sure that happens, and our staff and students have a great environment to go, teach and learn.
Good that the junior high has been there for you to be able to utilize with the situation with the Eisenhower Elementary School. Long term, looking forward to reconfiguring so that the junior high is what it was meant to be.
For sure. We want to get the fifth grade and the fourth and fifth graders out of there as soon as possible, right? No one's happy with that situation. It has been a blessing to have that extra space at the junior high, but we don't want the fourth and fifth grade kids from Eisenhower going there. So as soon as we can get that building student ready, We're going to do that. We're hopeful that it'll be, as early as next school year. But so a lot of that's out of our hands. It depends on how fast the construction can move forward. So, but we're hopeful, and we're gonna push for that as best we can. Get those students from Ike back out of that junior high and back into their home as quickly as possible.
Sure. What else is on your desk here this summer in this busy time?
A lot. Safety training has been what we've been doing a lot. We did a reunification training with all the other school districts in the county, and that's in case there's some sort of catastrophic event, how we can work together to help reunite students with families. It's unfortunate that that's what you have to prepare for these days, but it's a fact of life in America these days. We had principal training recently where situational awareness and things like that, how they would deal with a hostile situation. We're actually going down to Harrisburg here in the next couple of weeks to go through the Pennsylvania School Safety Institute with a team that's pretty exciting. Cutting edge facility that was just opened up, and we got invited to go down to check that facility out, go through some intensive training there as well. So a lot of training, a lot of those kinds of things. We're still working on some realignment of staff and trying to make sure that we watch our costs and make a plan that's cost effective and efficient.
Yeah. And at the same time, you're getting ready for a brand new school year, and you've got more than just the typical issues, but those typical issues that you get to for the start of the school year, they're really, really important.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a clean launch to a school year is vital. It sets the stage for the entire school year. So getting off on the right foot is very important. Our principals work tirelessly to make sure that when the students walk in that first day, everything's ready to go for them. That the staff is prepared, that the mission is set, the vision is set, and that those students, when they walk in, everybody knows the play and is running the play. So it's a positive, safe, and nurturing environment.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's talk a little bit about COVID lag.
Okay.
Because we're here in the summertime, and the more we put COVID in the rearview mirror while keeping an idea that, it could happen again, the more we get a chance to see, well, where do we stand academically within the school district? How have the students recovered from what was a really challenging time? How have the faculty members also recovered, because it was very, very difficult for them too?
Yeah, COVID is one of those events that changed us all forever. Whether we like it or not, for good and for bad. And although we are recovering, those students that miss some of the vital moments and stages of development, that education piece, are going to have that effect on them forever. And we're doing everything we can to turn that curve, and that we call it the J curve, right, to get them back on track as quickly as possible. And we made a giant step forward this year. The PSSA results are just being released right now, and the preliminary release that came to us seemed positive, that we're headed in the right direction, and the students are growing quite a bit. Specifically math. Across the nation, math scores are down so terribly low. And here in Indiana, we were able to turn that around and push it in the right direction. They're still nowhere near where we want them to be, and that's an effect of COVID that's going to last with those kids throughout their career, their entire life maybe. But we're going to do all we can to get them back on track. So we're recovering. They're recovering. Academically, it's going to be present with this whole generation forever. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that learning gap is closed. And our after-school programs, our partnerships for the summer, the better training for teachers. So we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that those kids recover from COVID the best they absolutely can.
And at the same time, you're aware that there could be something else coming that would also force students out of the classroom for an extended period of time. As wonderful as it is to have online resources by which to teach your classes, you want them to be there and in a classroom setting with others, socializing with each other, and that's the best teaching format for them. And I'm sure that you look at the lessons learned and say to yourself, okay, this is what the next time that it happens, and let's hope it never does, but the next time it happens, this is what we can do, maybe do differently.
Absolutely. We'll be better prepared if it ever happens again. Let's hope it doesn't, like you said, but if it ever does, we'll be better prepared. And there's no doubt about it. We see that the students learn better when they're in school. Every study done across the nation shows that most students do better in that learning environment where they can learn and grow with their peers and have that social interaction and talk through the learning, and share it with others. So absolutely, you're 100% right. If we can come up with a plan where those students are in our classroom, they're going to be better off for it.
Yeah. Rob Heinrich, our guest, he's the acting superintendent of the Indiana Area School District, of course, as we get through these summer months. And it's really, really rapid. I mean, we're a month and a week or so away from starting.
We're at the halfway point already, right? We're already on the downhill slope, on the back nine, so to speak.
Amazing as it is. Athletic programs begin they're already in the midst of their summer training for the fall sports, and place is coming alive over there, isn't it?
For sure. We did a whole bunch of hiring. We hired a whole bunch of coaches, and they instantly got those kids into their summer programs, and they're doing a lot of work, and with open gyms and mini camps and those kinds of things to get the kids stay in touch with what they're doing, and they're starting to ramp up their activities. So you'll see more and more activities happening here in our facilities coming up here in the next month.
I remember a couple of years ago, it was several years ago, riding a bike on the hill overlooking the stadium, and it was like a less than a week after the end of school. There were kids in the band that were already out on the field that were marching, and the percussion section they were practicing, and there were other sections of the band that, and I don't know if it was volunteer or not, but I think one of the things that we fail to appreciate as much is those folks in the band, particularly moms and dads and the kids themselves. They work so very, very hard, don't they?
Oh, they absolutely do, and it takes a village. Let me tell you, the boosters are great. What they do for the kids, to give the kids the opportunity, and the coaches. If you get a chance, thank your coaches. If you're at a little league game and there's someone volunteering their time to help kids learn and grow, thank them. It's such a tough job nowadays, and parents and community members are often so quick to criticize, but those are tough roles to have, and they do it for the love. They do it for the kids. So if you get a chance to thank a coach and those adults that are sacrificing their time, even if they're getting paid, it's pennies for them for the amount of hours that they put in.
Yeah.
So please thank your coaches and the advisors and those adults that give up the time so those kids can pursue their passions.
And I know that you would join me in saying, it's not a bad idea to become a PIAA official too.
Absolutely. So that's another thing. Thank your officials for sure. We're going to run out of officials if less and less people go into that profession. We're not going to be able to provide these sports for kids, or the seasons will go longer. We'll be playing games, at 10 o'clock at night to accommodate. So please, if you can become an official, please pursue that. And if you can't, at least thank them and be good to your officials. A part of
that is, on my mug here, I've got the sticker that Wade McElhenney gave me, which was an initiative of Indiana Area School District, the Be Kind initiative.
Absolutely.
That's a good rule for dealing with sports officials or anybody in life.
Absolutely. Don't be judgmental, be curious, right? And understand, empathy. We try to teach the students empathy right out of the gate so they can understand other people's perspectives and where they're coming from. That official has a tough job, so if you can always just put yourself in their shoes and understand that it's not an easy job, you'll have a lot more patience with them when the calls don't go your way.
Yep, tough job, but it's not one that they have to do. It's one that they choose to do. All right, very good. Rob Heinrich, thanks for the visit this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It is WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Just about 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and it is a Tuesday morning. Coming up, CBS Sports, and then Jake is here. He's in the WCCS newsroom.
This is former Science with the CBS Sports Minute. Now, leading up to today's Senate hearings, former AT&T Chairman Randall Stevenson resigned from the PGA Tour